Hi there, and up for sale today I've got a gorgeous 1998 Land Rover Discovery 2 in Rioja Red. Now this is a UK import, so it is right-hand drive. It has been legally imported and it's now located here in Michigan and comes with a clean, clear Michigan title. So let me walk you around the vehicle. I'll show you the inside, the outside, the underside, and we'll take it for a test ride. Now you can find Land Rover Discoveries here in the United States, but very hard to find them with only 70,000 original miles, and very hard to find them in this condition. All right. Also, you can't get them with the 5-speed manual gearbox, and you definitely can't get them with the TD5 turbo diesel. All right. So in 1998, Land Rover introduced the TD5, and this Discovery is an early 1998 model, and therefore one of the very first TD5s eligible for import. This very well may be one of the only or very few TD5s in the country. Now there are some illegal TD5s. Some have snuck through Mexico and some have been illegally imported. But you don't want one of those because the feds might be coming for you. All right, this one, clean Michigan title, and comes with import docs if you want them. All right, so the nice thing about the TD5 is that it's a nice little upgrade from the 300 TDI. It's got more horsepower, it's got more torque, and it's quieter, and it's very tunable. Okay, so I'm gonna put a screenshot up of these guys I watch on YouTube called Tiersbeck TV. Now these guys have owned a Discovery and been working on it on their channel for the last few years, and the first thing they did was swap out the ECU for a stage 2 storm tuning ECU, and it bumped up the horsepower from 125 all the way up to like 200 horsepower just by switching out the ECU. Now you can also add a bigger exhaust, bigger air filter, upgrade the turbo, and you can get like 250 horsepower out of these motors, and you can get some serious 0 to 60 times out of this. And being a 5-cylinder 2.5 liter, it sounds amazing. All right, so watch their videos, check them out, and you'll see what I'm talking about. These things can be absolute rockets. All right, so enough about the motor. Let's take a look. Well, you know what? The motor. I'm super excited, okay? The first TD5 I've ever seen, all right? I've been waiting for these, okay? 1998 was the first year they made them, all right? It's a big deal, okay, people? This is the first one I've ever seen. All right, anyways, I'm getting riled up. The exterior is gorgeous, okay? 70,000 original miles, Rioja Red, and very, very light wear and tear over the last 25 years. For example, there's a little bit of scratching from opening the door here, and there's a little bit of a boo-boo right here. Okay, so the body panel has kind of worn a hole in itself. As you can see, it's about the size of my thumbnail. So this can be easily fixed, or you can leave it as is, but it's a small little defect right there. I don't know if that's a manufacturer. Should have recalled that for Pete's sake. But anyways, that can be fixed pretty easily. There's also a little bit of a scratch here that you could buff out, and a little bit of a dent right here in the corner, and a tiny bit of corrosion. But other than that, she's cherry. Well, she's Rioja Red. But anyways, the doors, fantastic shape. No rust on the door bottoms. Driver and passenger doors, all great shape. Now where they normally rust out is right here in the inner door sill or door jamb. And as you can see, these are in great shape. These have not been repaired. These are all factory original, in great shape. And while we're here, we got a brand new set of Hankook Dynapro ATMs and a gorgeous set of factory original Discovery 5-spoke alloys. All right, and we also have a brand new set of terra firma shocks and springs, which have lifted the vehicle 2 inches, and a larger tire, giving it a powerful stance, if you know what I mean. All right, there's your TD5 badge that you're going to want to show to everybody. And full-size spare on the rear door, and rear door same shape, beautiful condition, rust-free, Absolutely mint. Rear bumper, same story, minty fresh, no scratches or dents. In the back here, we've got storage lockers on either side. We do have a spare tire cover, and these headlight lens covers had a crack in it, so I took it off, but these are Land Rover, so kind of nice. These can be used, but they just have a crack in it. So in the back here, the only flaw of the interior really is this headliner has come unglued, which is pretty typical for Land Rover, but that's it. Rest of the interior is absolutely mint. The seats fold down flat in the middle row. So we've got 5 seats, 3 in the rear and 2 up front. All right, and this is how you can tell they're a super low mileage vehicle. There's hardly any wear and tear here on the inner seat where you get in and out. No cigarette burns on this cloth interior, no rips or tears. And this is what I would like to call a base model, because it does have the cloth interior, the manual gearbox. It doesn't have the air conditioning, unfortunately, and it doesn't have cruise control, but it does have a bunch of little options. It's got power windows, power mirrors. It does have keyless entry. It's also got radio controls here on the steering wheel. It's got hill assist, AM/FM cassette player, and this is the factory stock radio, and it does come with the manual and the radio code, which is nice. All sorts of lighting here in the interior, storage up above, and grab handles all over the place. And let's take a look on the passenger side now. Same story pretty much, just beautiful shape. And you know what, I'm gonna say it, and you're not gonna like it, all right? The Discovery is a better vehicle than the Defender. And I know everybody's heads are exploding right now, but listen, it's got the same chassis, same axle, same suspension, but it just rides and drives way better. And it's got perfectly straight body lines, all right? The doors open and shut great, okay? And it rides better, drives better. It's got the same off-road capability, basically. But, you know, it doesn't look like a Defender. It looks like a Discovery. It's beautiful, all right? So that's my 2 cents, really. I'd take either one. Defenders are great, Discoveries are great as well, but to each their own. All right, let's go ahead and fire it up. Oh, and we are missing the cover here for the jack and the ECU. So beggars can't be choosers, I guess, but that's the only thing missing in the engine bay. Other than that, super clean in here. All right, let's go ahead and get her fired up. So I'm fired up too. TD5, 70,000 original miles. Glow plug light comes on and off. She fires up, no warning lights, no 3 amigos. Fuel gauge is working, tach is working, temperature gauge is working, and then your parking brake warning light is on because the parking brake is engaged. And the motor is running smooth as silk. Super quiet, especially for a diesel motor, and no smoke coming out of the exhaust. All right, so here we are at the rear of the vehicle. The TD5 does have rear disc brakes. There's a good look at the new shocks and springs. Exhaust is looking nice and clean. There's the rear axle, no drips out of the fill plug. And let's take a look at the chassis. Again, very similar to the Defenders. Only surface rust on this chassis. I don't see anywhere where it has been cut or welded or repaired. And you don't have the pesky rear crossmember like you do on the Defender that gets clogged with mud and rusts out. So again, the chassis is in great shape. Only slight surface rust because it is 25 years old, but very solid shape. And there's a good look at the rear trailer hitch. Super beefy trailer hitch as well. And here is the driver's side. Okay, and here we are on the driver's side. So the difference between this and the Defender is that this is a 4-link rear end. It doesn't have the upper ball joint on an A-frame. It's just got the 4-link rear radius arms or rear control arms. So a little bit different setup. It does have a rear sway bar as well, and pinion seal looks good. I don't see anything leaking out of the rear axle. It does also have a damper on the rear drive shaft, which helps the gear shifts to shift a little smoother as well. And there's a good look at your new shocks and springs as well. And chassis is looking real good. There's the center cross member, no dents or scratches there from off-road use. So everything looking pretty tidy under here. And here we are on the passenger side. There's a look at the back side of the front axle. Looks pretty decent. There's your front drive shaft, your gearbox and transfer case. And there's the center cross member as well. I don't see any dents or scratches there, so this thing hasn't been abused off-road. And there's a good look at the middle section of the chassis, looking tidy. Okay, and here we are at the front of the vehicle. As you can see, the Discovery axle has upper and lower ball joints on the front knuckle and CV boots as well instead of swivel seals. So a different style there, kind of nice, a little bit more refined. We do have the same system, the steering arm and steering dampener. It does have a sway bar up front as well. And there's your new shocks up front, and the front axle, same as the Defender as well. No leaking or anything coming out of the oil seal or the axle. And same story on the driver side. Now the engine is covered by this large plastic cover from the front all the way to the back here, so it's kind of hard to see what's going on with the engine, but it is covered and protected, and I don't see any oil dripping out of here at all. So looking pretty clean, actually. Okay, so let's take her for a spin. I mean, the test drive is kind of pointless because this thing runs flawlessly. Absolutely nothing wrong with this truck. Runs and drives superbly. All right, there's second gear. And we're driving down a bumpy dirt road here with tons of potholes. And it's soaking them up like a sponge, all right? Super quiet in here. You can barely even hear the engine. And we're in third gear right now, going uphill. No problemo. Go ahead and accelerate a little bit. So we're doing 30 miles an hour. Shift into fourth gear. And fifth gear. No problemo. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and downshift into third gear. Handles the corners like a dream. Braking and accelerating in third gear. Steering is butter soft, very responsive. And there's fourth gear. I mean, I can't even hear the engine. It's fantastic how quiet it is in here compared to a Defender. Alright, so we're going to get on the brakes hard here. We do have a little bit of moisture on the road, so we'll see if the ABS kicks in. So no pulling at all to the left or to the right. Perfect braking. No vibrations in the steering wheel or in the tires. As I said, we got a brand new set of tires, so they are balanced perfectly. And there's reverse gear. So let's go ahead and fly through the gears one more time. We'll give it all she's got.